played a lot of Black Ops 4. I have. I've been playing a lot of pubs. I've played a couple of wages, that sort of thing. And I think one of the things that I've not really seen people mention too much is the classes, because I think that there's so much great weapon variation so far in Black Ops 4 that there's so many things to choose from. I'm going to break it down though, what I've been enjoying using, what I know a lot of the pros have been enjoying using, which are pretty much the best classes at this moment in time. Of course, we are early on in the game. Things can change a lot, but realistically, I think these are the core weapons that are probably going to be used all year, pending a couple of, changes in the meta, that sort of thing, a couple of patches. Things will change, and I honestly think that we might see a slight AR nerf, so take that into consideration before you start looking at these classes. No sniper classes in here, by the way, because, personally, I don't snipe. So we're mainly going to be concentrating on ARs and SMGs. So let's have a quick look into it. First ones I'm going to actually talk about is the Maddox. So the Maddox for me is a pretty good AR. It does a decent all-round job, but I prefer it in something maybe a little bit more close encountered. Something like firing range is a good gun for. In terms of attachments, you have to run the ELO. You can use the reflex if you want, but for me, I think the ELO is realistically always the better sight. In terms of attachments, you get Quick Draw and Quick Draw 2. I don't think Quick Draw 2 is that worth it. I think Quick Draw, you get in there pretty quickly. And the peripheral vision, you're never going to be holding the L trigger really when you're walking around with this. If you're using this, you are an aggressive AR player. It's that sort of gun, realistically. Stock, put that on straight away, I would imagine as well. Fast mags, you can maybe think about it, but it's already got a pretty decent clip of 40, so I don't think you realistically need that too much. It drops people fairly quickly. As said, the Maddox is good for a small map, aggressive player. I said maps like Firing Range, Summit, that sort of thing. That's where that one really comes into its own. We'll quickly go over perks and stuff like that as well. When I'm running the Maddox, we've got dexterity on there, but you can run lightweight. I think it's one of those ones where you are really running around a lot more. A flak jacket is an absolute necessity at the moment. Dead silence, yes, okay, you probably have that one in there as well if you aren't using dead silence. So for me, I don't think that it's absolutely necessary in the run and gun game modes, but you are very, very loud in this game. So if you're feeling that you are being soundholed a lot, dead silence is absolutely the go-to. But I've seen some players not using a third perk. You can maybe add something in there, of course. In this class, I am using an extend mags on my RK7, and there's question marks around the pistols as well. The Strife is very, very good. The Mozu is really, really good. All pistols are really quite viable. I just like the RK7. Its stopping power is pretty good, and my trigger finger isn't actually that quick, so I quite like the RK7, but I don't think you really go wrong with any of the pistols. So in terms of perks, you will typically see these three being ran all the time. It can be a mix-up of lightweight and dexterity, or lightweight and dexterity. Of course, it just depends what you're doing, what gun you're running. Moving into the next class, now the ICR for me is the best gun on the game currently. But when it comes to range, any map where you got long sights, so typically, if you're playing online, just in pubs, militia, that sort of map, very, very big. You can get some long sights with it. This double grip is absolutely insane, by the way. It makes this gun an absolute laser. And if you're on a super long map, again, like the militia, long barrel on there as well without a pistol, and you just your 3 perks and your stim, this thing is an absolute tank. It will not be outshot at range. You can drop people so fast at big ranges. I've got a couple of classes for this one. Maybe with a map that you don't have such a long range on it. I'm trying to think one off the top of my head. Maybe like Contraband, that sort of one. Quick Draw is good if you want to get up close and personal. So you can see with the long barrel one, I'm running dexterity because, maybe I'm not sprinting around as much, and I maybe want that engagement where I can jump around, that sort of thing. When things are getting up close, that's why I want it. But then I'll run lightweight if I'm running something a little bit quicker, and then you've got Quick Draw so you can snap in there a little bit quicker on that one. But I'm always using double grip. I can't move myself away from it. The fact that there's just no kick on it, you can be so accurate. I found myself at times actually aiming for headshots because I know how accurate I can be with it. Albeit I'm not that great, obviously, but at the same time, the amount of headshots I've been picking up with this is a lot. And I think the thing is with this game, headshot multiplier seems pretty high. So I think if you can try and aim for it, it's a good thing to do. And this allows you to be so accurate that you can. So, I only run 2 ICRs. You could get away with putting a pistol on there, but double grip for me, why would you not use it? It's so good. Fully expect it to be patched. Fully expect it to be. Moving on to the Vapor. Now, this is probably my second favorite gun. This is the do-it-all, like the Maddox, but this one has a bit of better range. think of it in the same sort of category as that, as it's pretty decent up close, it's pretty decent at range, but this one just has slight range advantage. Maddox being a little bit better close up, and I think it does actually have a bigger round as well. Yeah, the Maddox has 5 more bullets in it as well, so Maddox has said a bit better closer up because of that, more rounds, that sort of thing, whereas this thing does better at range. The Vapor, for me, is the better all-around gun. Typically, I'm running the ELO on it. I said you can run Reflex if you want, but I mean, why would you? Let's be honest, the ELO is above and beyond the better. I'm running stock on it. Stock 2 you can put on it. I've got 2 different classes. I've got one with the long barrel, so I said for maybe something a little bit more long range, I want to slow things down a little bit, but then when I want to get up and close and personal, the double stock actually allows you to drop shot. Now, this turns this gun into a bit more of an SMG sort of class, but there's not many guns that actually have this available. Stock 2 is only available, I think, maybe 2 or 3 guns that are being used by pros at this current time. So for me, I think Stock 2 is really, really good if you want to get aggressive with this. If you want to maybe slow things down, I said I would probably put long barrel on. It's not really that necessary, but it always helps to have that extra stopping power at range, of course. And I said, I mean, I'm running the pistol with this one, not in that case, because obviously I'm running the extra. Actually, I don't even think I need that on. No, I don't. So, I mean, obviously I can run the attachment on that. If I'm ever going to run an attachment on a pistol, 9 times out of 10, I mean, you can run long barrel potentially, but whenever you're whipping this out, it's not at any sort of range. So extended mag is always decent. Same with RK7, I would always go with extended mag. This is the best SMG on the game, the SOG. I think for me, it's very, very good, but it just doesn't have any range about it. That's the thing. Unless you're zero and you're running around and you're just destroying kids. But realistically, for me, I think if you're on a small map, say slums, firing range, and you know you are going to be sprinting 100 miles an hour into people, there is no better gun than this one to do it. I actually run lightweight and dexterity because, I mean, when I'm getting up and close and personal, I like to jump. Having dexterity, of course, if you're not aware, increased weapon accuracy when jumping or mantling. So if you're aiming down sights and you're jumping, then obviously it helps, and you can climb, slide, everything faster. On top of having lightweight, on top of having the SOG, which has a really good mobility on it as well, I think realistically, it's the best class if you want to be that SMG, getting up close and personal, running the objective. This is a very, very, very good gun for doing so. In terms of attachments, I'm just running quick draw grip on it. You may want to double stock it if you want to drop shot, that sort of thing. But I think quick draw, this thing kicks quite a lot. And if you were to run 3 attachments on it, you can't have lightweight and dexterity. So I really go quick draw grip and just try not to drop shot. But if you wanted to, you could run double stock, of course. Fast mags is not a bad idea because this only has a small clip and it has a really fast fire rate, so it disappears fairly quickly. I think you can get 2 or 3 people in a clip if you're super accurate. But I think realistically, you could always run fast mags instead of maybe quick draw, or if you feel confident without it, the grip, that works as well. But typically I run quick draw grip, and I know other pros do that as well. I'm going to quickly just brush over the other submachine gun that I'm really enjoying, and that's the GKS. This one's a bit more of an all-rounder. It sort of falls into the same category as the Vapor, as the Maddox. It's a similar sort of gun. I love how accurate this is, allowing it to be one of those long-range guns. Typically, I'm using grip and quick draw, but if you want to really get amongst it in terms of a bit of range SMG, long barrel and long barrel 2 is really, really nice as well. But for me, I think it sort of falls into a category where I think the Maddox and the Vapor are a better job they do a better job at what you want it to do than the GKS does. I think the GKS is a great all-around gun, but I just think the 2 ARs at their current state do it better. I said, though, if you're going to run it, grip and quick draw is pretty good, but the double long barrel is good as well if you want to drop the pistol and throw a grip on it. I mean, grip you don't really need on this gun, to be honest with you, but you always really want to have quick draw on an SMG. So I mean, that's it for me. I think there's a lot of people sort of still sampling with things like the swordfish. The swordfish, though, I think for me, you have to be super, super accurate with it. I'm not very good. So if you're missing those bursts, it can be bad. There's also times where it's quite inconsistent. I find myself one bursting people sometimes, and then there's other times where they're taking 3. So for me, the burst guns at this moment in time just aren't the most consistent, whereas if you were going to use anything else over a burst gun, be a Maddox, ICR, Vapor, one of the 3 ARs that seem to be most dominant right now. Honestly, at this moment in time, it wouldn't actually surprise me to see a 4AR setup, and that's not just because I think the game is leaning in a slower sense. I just think some of the ARs, I mean, they're just as good at close ranges as the GKS is, which is typically your main SMG that's being used. And then if you are going to use an SMG, it's just the SOG, which has no range about it. So for me, the Vapor and the Maddox may be used by a lot of people with 1 or 2 ICRs who are your primary AR at this moment in time. But for me, I think I need to see a nerf to the ARs potentially to see those subs going to be used more often. But guys, that's going to be my thoughts on the guns and classes that pros are using so far. I think, you know, these things change. And if anything is going to change, it's going to be at the beginning of the game. I think Treyarch are dead on top of changing things in terms of, you know, nerfing, buffing things. And I think I don't want to necessarily see a buff to the SMGs. I want to see a nerf to the ARs, because at this moment in time, they are actually maybe a little bit too adaptable. You can use them in all sorts of situations. Favorite for me, if you're going to run any gun on any map, the Vapor does the job perfectly. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like. I'd love it if you could subscribe as well. We're going to have plenty more Black Ops 4 content coming to you through this week. And guys, we will see you on the next video.